1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Okay, how's it all sound now? Well, the music's fading out right now. Probably hear it when the new song. Hope everyone had, an amazing week. Welcome back to the Damn Challenge stream, our bi-weekly map-making contest. My name is Mac, the community manager of Dungeon Alchemist. We're going to flip over to the view here shortly. I just wanted to do a couple sound checks, a couple video checks. Is everyone excited for the Damn Challenge? Oh no, Highland Lass, I appreciate you being here. Hello and goodbye to you. Uh-oh. Oh, I left my left my lens cap on like a doofus, so. There we go. Yeah, there was. Joel, thank you for the heads up. Appreciate that. Sounds good over on YouTube. So we're live on multiple platforms right now. Just a quick heads up to everyone. We're live on Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Steam, Twitter, etc. We are going to be showcasing entries from our bi-weekly map-making contest today that is called the Damn Challenge. Our current theme for the Damn Challenge was Legend. So for the last 2 weeks, we've encouraged our community to submit entries under that theme, using it as inspiration, and quite a few interesting maps have appeared. There were 6 entries this challenge, which means pretty much every entry is going to get a good, chunk of time. However, the winning map, Blue Mage, congratulations, you won the Damn Challenge. Really appreciated your entry, and I almost feel like maybe you were trying to get on my good side with the Stargate and like Egyptian kind of theme. I don't know, maybe trying to get some points with me, but you know what? It worked. It was awesome. There was actually a couple different themed maps that I really appreciated in this competition. So thank you. DR over on TikTok asks, what does Alchemist have integration with currently? Well, Dungeon Alchemist works with a variety of different play methods. You can export our maps for print. You can export the maps as a digital file, either a JPEG, MP4, or WebM, which you can then use on a TV tabletop or a projector tabletop if you play that way. You can export the maps to a variety of different virtual tabletop systems. Foundry, Fantasy Grounds, Roll20, Above VTT, just to name a few, as well as any major, any virtual tabletop that uses the UVTT format, which means Universal VTT format. So a variety of different companies and systems work with us. Yes, so our maps typically export in a top-down format. However, I'm assuming, are you a DM? Yeah? DR? Or are you a player on the table? So there's no full 3D support for our maps for export at this time. The DM is encouraged to, gather screenshots and video using our cinematic camera or first-person cameras. Though there are communities, DMs in our community who play in person with their table on like a TV tabletop, and they'll run their game entirely with Dungeon Alchemist. When you're playing online through, a virtual tabletop, Foundry, primarily top-down. That's how the market is from pretty much the entire market, right? Is top-down maps. There's a handful of 3D VTTs and systems out there. Like Foundry, there's a single module for it called 3D Canvas, but it's all contained within that module. You can't import to the module. You have to subscribe to the module. It's like all kind of a self-contained thing. Tailspire, 3D VTT, you have to build the maps in Tailspire and play the maps in Tailspire. We do support animated maps, so you can export our maps as animated, and yeah, they're actually quite interesting. Not only that, there's DMs who will stream this view to players over, say, like Discord or Zoom or whatever, because you can hide the UI and then stream like a different angle, like an isometric angle, or even get in with like these different cameras, like the drone camera, like I mentioned earlier. So we're actually showcasing a map right now that is from a bi-weekly contest we host on our streams and in our Discord called the Damn Challenge, which it's kind of aptly named because when you save a map in Dungeon Alchemist, it's saved as our proprietary map-making file, Dungeon Alchemist Map, DAM. So at the moment, I'm trying to get this camera in here. I experimented with this earlier so we could see inside. This is so impressive, Blue Mage. How long did this take you to make? This is so stunning. The interior of this pyramid, temple, whatever, ziggurat, it is absolutely stunning. I don't know if many of you got inside here because it was a little tricky, but it is absolutely amazing. Love the Sphinx here. Love like all the various, themes. Like there's a portal here. Oh my gosh, just, you really nailed it. Well, you did a great job. I really love it. The outside just as impressive as the inside. And of course, you've got a Stargate here. Jaffa Kree! I was playing with this earlier. And what I did was quite cool. You might appreciate it. So I grabbed the moon gate, right? Threw it in here. Scaled it up a bit. Oh no! No! We'll do that. But now you've got kind of an active Stargate. I thought the interior was dope. Plus that portal type on that, you can change it to a variety of different portals if you're not vibing with that one. So like before I, set it in there, I guess maybe not this one, the other gate. Is it this one? They all should have, yeah. This one has more options. You could do like any number of things. That one looks very Stargate-ish, right? Hey, Artful Darkness, thank you for the likes. I really appreciate it when you support the stream like you do. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, I found this map very cool. I don't know, I really liked it. I don't it was fun. It's massive. When you get down here with a token and you start seeing the scale of it all, quite cool. Camel butt. You know what? I think despite the delay, you really brought your A game. There were some really good maps, right? Like a lot of really good maps. But I think I really enjoyed the scope of this, plus the grandiose nature of like the overall structure. Like the fact that there's an interior that's navigable with a lot of interesting details inside. It's a good one. Hey Rev, by the way, yours made me laugh. I totally saw the theme you were going for. We'll discuss when we get to it though. As a fellow brown coat, I saw exactly what you were doing. It is very cool, isn't it, Artful Darkness? I'm gonna move this cloud here. Right? Centamar's uploaded a lot of really cool assets. They're really good at locating like Creative Commons assets on the web and then sharing them on the workshop. They've uploaded a good chunk of assets, like probably over 1,000 at least. When we were like fine tuning the workshop in our last update, Centimar, Asmodeus, and Sack were the three people we pinged to like help us test it because they were all having trouble with. Ooh, I really love how this all loops using the quarter pieces, like snakes. Were having trouble with the workshop because they had the most assets. Like the more assets you upload, you start hitting like a weird wall because Steam's not used to people uploading that many things. And then additionally, there was some optimization that needed to be done on our end. Hey Caillou, welcome back. How you doing, buddy? This is so cool. I just love this vibe. Honestly, I think that's the big thing that a lot of people didn't realize on this map, that there was an inside of this. Just from the exterior, the map outside, really good. It's cool, it's big, it's awesome. But once you get in here, it's a whole different game. You know what I mean? It's like amazingly beautiful in here. Hey, Geronimo, don't sell yourself short either. I enjoyed the Leroy Jenkins theme. Like, absolutely hilarious. Leroy Jenkins. It's a drain. Interesting. So the room could be filled with water or something? I just love these too. Gosh, it just feels so like... Yeah, this just looks like a tomb. Like, or just something you would see in like a Stargate film or a... Like, it probably the first 4 or 5 seasons of SG-1. Like, this is crazy cool. Also kind of reminded me of a little bit of Vox Machina when they found the Sphinx. This little detail back here, No worries, my friend. Yeah, a little Tomb Raider as well. Got some Indiana Jones vibes. Definitely feels like the Stargate movie, for sure. Roland Emmerich's Stargate had a totally different vibe than the show. The Abydos, like, kind of set up with, you know, the Stargate, like the big pyramid and landing the ship on it. They really didn't do much of that in the show because it was too much, like, of a budget for, like, an effect, I bet. Does have a bit of like a few different things all at once. I think you kind of captured a really good aesthetic here. I love how this tomb seems to be protected by some sort of, you know, wall of force or pyramid of force, if you will. Then, of course, you've got a portal back here. It looks like just walk out to somewhere, to a completely different place where an obelisk is. Dang, this is so cool. I didn't take a close look at this before. Well, Blue Mage, I really appreciate the work and effort you put into this. So it's called Tomb of Ankh-Sept, right? Did I get that right? Perfect. Oh, okay, cool. Works. Excuse me. It is very cool, right, Artful Darkness? Now you just need a Hatak landing on top of it. I don't know why, but I like this song a lot. It's just got a vibe. The little clapping. I don't know. I can't do it right, but it's cool. Kind of reminds me of like flamenco music. This is the mood. So epic in here. I honestly can't believe you only spent 5 hours. That's impressive. GG. Walk the twisted path. You got it. Chim. Welcome. Tomb Raider was fun. Pretty interesting. But at the same time, Tomb Raider, you know, lacked in some things or was terrifying for a young kid. I remember playing it like as a young boy. And like there was like a tiger that would like hunt you down in one of the levels, and oh my gosh, it was so scary. I remember being like so terrified of it playing it with my cousins. But then I got better at it over time. Oh yeah, there is an NPC in here. Like, what are you doing, guy? That's smart. Keeping it symmetrical is good. It worked really well. Yeah, I do. I think it's minimal, but also really a good aesthetic. Could have even filled it in like a little another layer inside of stone to kind of help block out the light. But overall, it's like beautiful. I think it's great. Well done. So tell me about these drains a little bit. What's the deal with them? Is it to drain the water out of these pools only? Or was this possible that this whole place or part of it could be filled with water? Just seems like it could be part of a puzzle, you know? It does look cool. The way I look at it is it could potentially be a puzzle that they have to solve and drain it to like get access to something. Yeah, there was some blood on the floor here. And a skill. It's a trap! What's going on with this? What's the story here? This looks cool. Think that's what you did for this whole map and really nailed it. By the way, I want to start early thinking of a new theme for our next dam challenge. Really love this too. So, if y'all have any suggestions, I think I was given one in my messages a few days ago. One moment. Reimagined, an interesting concept that was shared with us, with me by Highland Lass like a week or so ago. It'd be an interesting one to visit because you could essentially take an old map and remaster it, reimagine an old map. So if you have a map that sewer, okay, thank you, Geronimo, appreciate the reminder. Yeah, it's quite epic in here for sure. I appreciate the effort that went into it. Even if you just snapped everything like Lego, it still took time, you know? Oh. Underground, is that a suggestion you're making, Lilandra? Interesting, interesting. So was I right about this being some sort of like barrier or trap or something? Protective spell? Feast? We've done Feast actually in the last 6 months, I feel like. We've done it a couple of times. Showdown. Interesting. Interesting. I like it. This is quite fun right here. Ah, interesting. Cool. So if anyone tries to interrupt the ritual, like, they probably have to take out the priest or, you know, dispel the magic around it to get to it. Interesting. Cool. Is this a portal to somewhere else, I'm assuming, back here? Or is it art? I feel like it's a portal. Portal? Cool. Just trying to get a general idea of what everything was. Love the treasure hoard here with the boat. What do we got here? Oh, it's her tomb, right? Ancon, Amon Sept or whatever. The name you generated. Interesting. The hieroglyphs. Oh, she's in the gold sarcophagus? Then what's over here? What's wrapped here? Maybe one of her servants or something? Yeah, got it. This is interesting, though. I like this here. Ring of Fire, right? Very cool. Yep, that's kind of what I figured after you said this. I realized it was a servant. Makes sense. I could also see why people would be motivated to break in and take the stuff in there. Either their loved ones' bodies are in there or, you know, all the dosh. My goodness. I really loved the symmetry of it. Really enjoyed the lighting. Really, there was just a lot of good spots for good shots in this. Remember me. Bender. So tell me about this Sphinx. Oh my goodness. These assets are pretty cool. You use them really well. Good combination of stock and workshop assets. Good symmetry. The interior detail is what really sold me on this map. Like, a lot of people might have missed it just checking out the exterior. When I started downloading this map, I was like, wow, there's a lot of assets on this map. And when I opened them, I'm like, where are all the assets? And that cloud there, I could see through it. And I was like, oh, this that was here, that one that was over there. I was like, okay, let me get in there. So I moved it, went inside, and started. I was like, whoa, this is insane. So yeah, you definitely stunned me. You definitely, knocked it out of the park for this damn challenge, Blue Mage. Congratulations again. Thank you so much for putting so much cool detail into this. And, despite your time running short due to technical difficulties, you still, submitted the map in, probably against your instincts, submitted it, and you did well. I think it's fantastic. Wardian, how are you doing, buddy? Always dropping in with some silliness. Gosh, this map is something else. Can we give pat on the back, round of applause for Blue Mage for the win, for the Legend Dam Challenge win, and then we're gonna jump over to another map. Remember, like I say, we can't all win, but we can all be winners. So let's congratulate the winner, give them their due. And by the way, Blue Mage, I will reach out to you between now and Monday afternoon with your prize information. And by Monday afternoon, I will post, who the winner is, obviously Blue Mage, in our Dam Challenge Discord, but also information related to the next challenge. So sometime between now and the end of the challenge, or the end of the stream today, we need to pick a new theme. So yeah, let's get on that. So we had what are the suggestions? We had sewer, we had reimagined, underground, yeah, I do think the showdown. Ooh, interesting. Underground seems nice. It's a little bit more broad than sewer. You could do a sewer with underground. You could do tunnels, caves, mines, catacombs. It's more open-ended than just one. I think underground's pretty good, but it seems like a top contender at the moment. Showdown's pretty good as well. But everyone keep voting. Whatever one you like, let us know in chat by saying whichever one you prefer. So underground, reimagined, showdown. We got a new entry now. Waterworks, Water World. Huh. Interesting. So you're changing yours from showdown to underground, Geronimo? By the way, I'm open to other chats giving us suggestions on this. So, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Steam, Twitter, any of you watching, if you have suggestions, feedback, insight on the next theme we should have for our next challenge. So every 2 weeks, ongoing, bi-weekly, is a map making contest in our community called the Dam Challenge. The last theme was Legend. Theme before that was Maze, and so on. So we're picking a new theme now for the next 2 weeks. Everyone in our community can participate and is encouraged to do so. You have roughly 2 weeks from today, and between now, let's see, I'll look on the calendar really quick. One moment. It'll be between now and the 25th of April to work on the map for our next theme, which it looks like will likely be underground at the moment. Unless other people start voting for some of the other themes, it looks like underground is going to be the winner. Which technically, I mean, Asmodeus Waterworks could definitely fit into underground because it could be like pipes and stuff like that. Or like water treatment, etc. Though Water World, probably not. And I do think a Water World theme would be a little bit harder until we at least get Water World as an update or High Seas. We may even want to save Water World for the Water World update. Pretty much every time we do an update, when it comes out, that's the Dam Challenge theme, right? Vista, that's interesting. Also, one of the strangest Windows variations, right? Fantastic work again. Thank you so much, Blue Mage, for all the love you put into this. XP or nothing. Okay, let's move on to the next. Interesting. I guess it looks like Geronimo's DOS. I haven't thought about DOS in a long time. It was a map builder? Cool. Man, I remember loading up DOS to play like SimCity or like King's Quest, Prince of Persia and stuff. Oh my. Swear, Geronimo, you always like bring the heat. Geronimo's got that dog in him. You know what I mean? So let's take a look at the top down. Oh, cool. Does anyone have like a guilty pleasure game? Like a game you would probably play to unwind, or a game you could probably play for years and years? Ordian, that was quite a bit of gold, wasn't it? I didn't even think about how big that pile was. You know, that's probably a late mission. Like, I probably level 10 plus mission there, because the amount of dosh in that room would really cause some mayhem. Leroy Jenkins. To be honest, the guy did what he could to live in infamy, and as a result, he is living in infamy. So, I don't know if you're familiar with Leroy Jenkins. It is a very, very old internet meme that originated in old WoW. A guild of players was gearing up for a raid, or getting ready to do a part of a raid. And the group is all prepping, telling everyone what to do and how to do it so they can like have the best strategy to win. And essentially, one of the players just and screams, Leroy Jenkins! Runs in, draws aggro, dies, and like everyone gets drawn into it, and then the whole group basically gets wiped as a result. It's probably one of the funniest moments on the early internet. Like, I feel like people used to do that stuff, like, I don't know. It wasn't like, like people do now for clout. Like, there's all these content creators and stuff like that. I think it was just kind of a impulsive, random, dark thoughts crept in, and the guy went for it. Hey, Polaris. Man. Man, the early internet was something to behold, let's just say that. Is this the entry here, Geronimo? I was always confused as to where the entry was. It's on the low level. Gotcha. This one here? Dude, this feels like Baldur's Gate, though. You did a great job in the design here. Like, the amount of detail, just everything broken. It reminded me, like, Baldur's Gate or Return to Moria, if you've ever played that. No, you did a great job on this, my friend. Let's tour in a knoll. Wow. You used a lot of the dungeon dross, didn't you? There's someone on our Reddit earlier saying there's not a lot of, like, wood planks and, like, scrap wood and lumber on the workshop, and I was, like, kind of confused, because there is quite a bit, actually. Maybe just not named what they were saying. There's quite a bit. I think sometimes people, because the Steam Workshop is not it's not like a search engine like Google. When you search things that are similar, it may find it, Whereas Steam, it's like very specific search terms. So unless you search it in the like search bar, like the exact name of it in the workshop as it's labeled, it won't find it. So I would try searching wood, plank, like wood space plank slash beam slash lumber, and then you'll find anything with that, instead of like just a few. It's kind of a bummer, but I think Steam needs to kind of update their architecture a little bit on the back end. But at the same time, they kind of have this if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of mentality. And honestly, the Steam Workshop has been pretty successful for them overall. I think we're one of the niche kind of outliers where, like, when you upload a map, could be hundreds of objects tied to it that are also on the Steam Workshop. Makes it kind of complicated. I like how very navigable this is, by the way. How long did you put into this, my friend? $12, 14 hours. Wardian, I mean just for the perspective of viewing it from the camera, or in first person. Meaning it's very easy for me to walk around and show it off to you. Some maps get restrictive, or people don't tour them in first person to see how easy it might be to walk through it. Like, I definitely think these vents are probably dangerous. Like, I'm not walking through like I'm playing right now. I'm more just taking a tour, if that makes sense. I don't know if it's the dev's ability, but when browsing for a class of object on the workshop within DA, it is annoying to have to search it again if you want to download a few. Huh, interesting. So, if you go into the workshop, go to browse assets, and you're in a category, you're saying once you download something in this category, if you, it won't be back here when you come back, like once you place the object. I'm going to try this really quick. Instead of placing it, I'm going to just go back. It loaded the same section I was just in. Huh. Let's try downloading it. I think if you don't place it after you download it, then it probably doesn't reset the search term if you just go back in. You know, it probably works this way. I think, though, if I placed one of the blocks, it might have a problem, you know? So just make sure you download it, but don't place it after you download it. So it'll definitely be in your object menu and your downloaded menu, but it won't interrupt the search cycle. Because I think when you place it, it shuts down this workshop browser, and then when you come back in, the search is cleared. So that makes some sense to a degree. I understand the frustration, though. Like, that is weird. I'm going to download one of these, right? I'm going to try placing it. Actually, before I place it, I'm just going to go back. It's still on idle. Okay, let's go to this one. I'm going to download it. Then I'm going to press place. Do that. When you go back into the workshop, that resets it. Yep, I see what you mean. I understand fully. So order of operations is important, but I will mention to them maybe putting some more like memory in this that it will hold, you know, most recent search term or the place you were in. So when you come back, it's exactly where you were. They've been improving the browsing of the workshop almost every update. Little things like, you know, showing how many assets are on the workshop, or the speed that you can browse the workshop, etc. Oh, I remember they also added a memory to when you're browsing it. If you like are in here and then go back, it's in the exact same part of the menu where you were before. It used to go to the top or the first page. So you could be like 10 pages in and it would reset to the first page. There's been a lot of subtle improvements, but they do take time. Hey, you weren't doing anything wrong. You were following a correct order of operations, but I think going forward, maybe just alter it if you want to keep getting stuff from that same category is all. I think this is my favorite part of the build right here, Geronimo. The symmetry in this room, the lighting. It looks like a space for a dope fight. Maybe some traps. The entry points, the gates, like really well done. The whole map is just beautiful. Take a look under here. Ooh. Did someone let the dogs out? Kennels. I assume wolves or something, you know, may have been in their wargs. Something to that degree. I really like these little individual rooms. No, lava. Hey, don't step in the lava. Bad for you. This also seems like a potential boss fight room. These dragon eggs? Can only assume that something's up in here. Professor Lava Hot! My other favorite one is, yes, fire is hot. I hope everyone's enjoying the stream today. By the way, I think Underground's going to be our next theme for the Dam Challenge, because y'all... I don't know. I think it'll be a fun, challenging, interesting idea, to say the least. Let's see here. It was Underground, not Showdown. Underground. My bad. There we go. Underground. So, Underground is our next theme for our next map making contest. So for the next 2 weeks, use Underground as inspiration. Make a map of any shape or size. Just kind of putting that out there now so people can begin thinking about it over the weekend. I'll put in our Discord in the Dam Challenge channel all the details about the challenge, when it's due by, etc. So, kind of take the weekend to think about it, and before Monday there'll be something. I like the hidden chest over here. Very cool. I think Underground's the winner. Yeah, Underground's really taking it. That's what I like to do too, Geronimo, is put little chests in corners like this. Great job there. Now I want to look around and see what else you hidden here. A white point, huh? Cool. Ooh, another little chest. Piece of candy. Okay, y'all. So, hear me out. My table, group of players, are in some like warehouses on a dock. And there's like a ship parked outside, and we are chasing the, kind of the enforcer on the dock named Torvos the Chain. Another chest. Look at you hiding them all over the place. Definitely Baldur's Gate feeling. Anyway, so we're in a fight right now with like 5 or 6 mobs. There's like 3 goblins, really low CR, and then there's some higher CR, kind of like, I don't know what they are, cultist casters. I don't even know what they have. They have a halberd. They're wearing kind of like a cloak, and they can cast a few different spells, which makes them somewhat formidable. And then they have some high, like, HP. I think they all have, like, over 50 HP. So we're in this room fighting them and also chasing the guy through the complex. We're under the impression he won't leave the complex, but, we don't want to fight every single inch of the way to get him. So we're trying to come up with a strategy to move forward. So we got a room, like 4 or 5 guys in it. We could clear those guys, right? And then maybe we have like a changeling in the party who has the Mask of Many Faces invocation as a warlock. So essentially they can change into looking like one of those guards and then pretend that they captured all of us and they were like the final survivor. So we could do like a deception check because he's straight up charisma. I mean, we're only level 4 at the moment, so the goblins are bound to be fodder at this point a little bit. I'm sorry, Wardian. I know that's absolutely egregious to you. Really is something you can't abide by, but honestly, hey, Michelle, you watching over on Steam, buddy? I didn't even notice. My bad. What you up to? I really like this map, though. You did a great job, Hieronymo. Fantastic work, my friend. Jim, I really appreciated that post, by the way. I liked it a lot. I think you did a great job showcasing all the Easter eggs. I don't think anyone's ever really done that before, like showing them all in a single map. Fantastic work. Did y'all see what Chim posted in our Discord earlier? It's like an image showing all the Easter eggs that have been discovered in Dungeon Alchemist. So, speaking of Easter eggs, and I'm going to explain this really quick for everyone so it's very clear. If you find what you think is an Easter egg in Dungeon Alchemist, if it's one that's never been located before, i.e. one of the many hidden ones that our devs place all over, if you find one, you can report it, and if it is in fact an Easter egg, the devs will usually reward you with a custom object in the next update. So like in the past, like for instance, the Wall of Force was added because a community member found an Easter egg and reported it to the devs, and the devs are like, yep, that's an Easter egg. Do you want a custom object? They're like, I want a Wall of Force. So they added it. So things like that often get added by, you know, people finding silly things like that. Ah, gotcha. Sorry, I kind of thought you were talking about yours, but my bad. But yeah, there are a lot of eggs on here, and it does kind of fit into the Easter theme with, you know, tomorrow being the Easter Sunday, right? I appreciate it, Michelle. How's the shop doing, my friend? Is that why you're busy? Just you getting a lot of business? That would be amazing for you. I hope that's the case. A lot of times, yeah, they're more like hidden details, you know, that you may not be aware of. For instance, like an Easter egg that was revealed by Quentin recently when he was on the stream. If you take a cannon and you aim it at a archery target, fortunately it won't work on the stream because the audio from my stream PC isn't on, I don't think, right now. But because I'm only pumping audio from one machine at the moment. Hold on. But if you shoot a cannon at a target like this, right, and it hits it, it'll do like a sound. There's very few sounds in Dungeon Alchemist, but that is one of them. There's like some, yay! Make sure you turn down your speakers or headphones, by the way, because it's really loud when it happens. But anyway, there's little things like hidden within DA like that often our community will find just by experimenting and don't even realize that it is in fact an Easter egg. Silly things like there's the initials of the devs' names in the moon. When you're looking at the moon, there's a W and a K, so Wim and Carl. They like to put their mark on the game on Dungeon Alchemist. Because it's their baby, it's their passion project. Dude, I am so happy for you. That's amazing. Fantastic, my friend. Are you still busy kind of in the setup phase, or are you mostly all set up now? Is this like another exit point, or is this like a lair? Assuming this could lead to another map. Whoa, jumping. Whoa. Whoa. Transition. Yep. Cool. You get it. Cool. Fantastic. Really wonderful build. Congratulations. I mean, thank you so much for submitting this map, Hieronymo. And honestly, like, I'm glad it was the second one we showed today. Really beautiful build. I feel like you put a lot of love into this. Is it based on a WoW map? I didn't even realize it was based on that. Blackrock Dungeon. Interesting. Cool. You know, I didn't play a lot of WoW. My friends mostly did. I played Lotro, right? Lord of the Rings Online, so I knew a lot of that map, but I didn't know a lot of, like, WoW. But I do know you've done some really, like, interesting like, interpretations of WoW maps using Dungeon Alchemist. So I really wanted to zoom out so you could see everything that was done here by Chin. This map is stunning. It's absolutely fantastic. There's an insane amount of verticality, and I think Chim is really starting to get into a groove of these grand scale maps. I also really like these little poster boards in the side explaining it. Hey, Broken King, welcome back. But not only is the map incredibly detailed and beautiful, but there's some secrets on it if you look around. But it looks like the ruins of a, you know, a long forgotten civilization, or, you know, yeah, it's a wonderful map. Chim's map was definitely a contender. Unfortunately, there is a kind of a just a judge rule that I don't allow anyone to win twice in a row. I used to do that, and I found that when I would do that, oftentimes it would discourage people from continuing to enter. So, Chim, such an amazing map, really beautiful. Like, so many details. Like, the amphitheater up here, like, the temple. Like, this is so stunning. It's straight up. Is this, like, based on an actual location? Because it's very beautiful. But a bit of a secret in here. Gotcha, gotcha. It's like there was another way in there. Interesting. Very cool. But not only is this map like epic in size, but verticality, there's tons of verticality to it. You really shaped the terrain and made it yours. I love how you laid these paths down using just the, you know, the square floor blocks from sorry, if you go to objects and go to structural, these are under, let's see here. Yeah, stone platforms. Pretty much what these are. Fantastic way to make like kind of an overgrown or buried road. Jim, how long were you working on this? I just like how there's so much to explore. Quite a bit of interesting areas to check out. Your new headset tells you 20 hours? Whoa, your headset tracks that? That's cool. Didn't even know that was possible, first off. Let me in! There we go. Didn't see this turn. Both times when I was in here, I didn't see it. Very cool, though. Oh! Well, I'm stuck. All hail the pickle. The mossy stone, nice. I think in the map, this was my favorite part back here. This is insane that you did this with just round walls. Yeah, the amphitheater is beautiful. It looks cool. Ow! What do y'all think of the amphitheater? It looks really cool. These are just, you go to objects, structural, you can find them under round. All it is these round walls just scaled. Probably the big ones, right? Yeah, it's brilliant because they're like a nice proportion. Bet it was a little frustrating to try and get them to align, huh? But you get the size right. You just duplicate that one, flip it over, snap it, call it, size it up. Duplicate it, snap it, flip it over, you know? Yeah, this is definitely a new method I've never seen before. It's interesting. Looks very clean. I need some water. I really just appreciate the scope of this map. If you look at it in a top-down, it's epic. There's a lot going on here. It's crazy that your headset keeps track of that, like analytics for your game time and stuff. And it knows which game? Yeah, right, Orlando. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's something else. Yeah, damn it, Michelle says extremely creative. I think this is fantastic. Yeah, and Orlando on TikTok says, holy moly. Like, this is a beautiful map. Jim, I think you're really starting to find your rhythm with these large scale maps too. Like, just look at how good this is. The verticality, the stairs. Hey, Orlando, no one's trying to force you to buy at the moment. Do know that we do have a free demo. Our app is a one-time purchase for a lifetime license as opposed to a monthly, fee or something like that. And if you do end up buying Dungeon Alchemist, you get, not only all our past updates, but future updates until we leave early access and beyond. So we've committed to a long-term development of Dungeon Alchemist, improving it. There's 5 major updates on our roadmap at this time. Our next one, Fun with Objects, hopefully should be launching by the end of June, which will feature multi-level room generation, roofing, and other. But yeah, I get it, Orlando. It's one of those things. Not everyone's looking to buy a map maker for Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder or anything like that. So it really depends on how you play, Orlando. Do you play in person? Do you play online? Dungeon Alchemist's primary purpose is to make maps for a variety of different methods of play. You can play in person using maps that have been printed from Dungeon Alchemist. You can export the map as a digital file, take it to a print shop, get them made as a big poster. You can export it as a JPEG, an MP4, or WebM to print or to play on like a TV tabletop or a projector tabletop. You can export for virtual tabletops like Foundry, Fantasy Grounds, etc., Roll20 and others. Those maps are typically in the top-down version, which is pretty traditional. That's how our maps export. Though we do allow you to get in here at these other angles where you can take screenshots, fly drone video, take like pictures, videos as you fly through the area, walkthroughs. You can give them as handouts, or you can even stream these views to your players as they explore it, so they get a kind of player eye view. One of the DMs I played with actually will drop a token in, so wherever we are in top-down, they stream the first-person view in Discord, and they'll update it like every minute or so and say, we walk into this area, they'll walk in and be like, yeah, this is what it looks like in first person. So you play online, I'm assuming, with... which virtual tabletop do you use, Orlando? Excuse me. So our maps, like I said... Oh, you're new? And you plan to play online? So think of it this way. Are you planning to DM, or are you going to play, Orlando? You do the same thing for your players? Anime Man, that's awesome. That's really cool. Do they enjoy that? Yeah, it's very beautiful here, by the way, Chim. You did a great job. Oh, they love it? That's awesome to hear. I love it when other DMs tell me about their, experiences with their players and doing these kind of things. Sharing first-person views or, screenshots or, isometric angles with their players. So they just get different perspectives. Like, I say this all the time, but think about it. Like, they have all these abilities. They can shoot fire from their fingertips. They can fly, teleport, but hardly ever do they get to see through their own eyes. So when you, show them this view, it's kind of jaw-dropping for them for the first time sometimes. With that in mind, some in our community actually do play in Dungeon Alchemist, but there really isn't any online support for it at the time. At this time, it's mostly localized play. That being said, in the future, we do have plans and have been discussing having our own accompanying like VTT that would, be a perfect match for Dungeon Alchemist to help you get the most out of our maps. Yeah, it would be cool to camp here for sure. Or hike here. Beautiful. Nice. So you plan to DM, Orlando? You're taking on a lot of responsibility, but kudos to you, my friend. Kudos. I mean, the majority of people in our community are DMs, right? And the thing about DMing is everybody has a different style, right? But I look at DMing just like any skill. Let's say you're a carpenter, right? Or a plumber. When you take on a skill, you have tools, right? That you need to acquire to help you better perform the job, correct? So a carpenter can't really, build cabinets with just a hammer. They need a saw. They need, chisels. They need nails. They need all these different things in tandem. Glue and dowels, and you know what I mean? So every tool in their tool belt helps them accomplish the task. They need a measuring tape, right? So when you are a DM for a D&D or any game, you know, sometimes there's really not a tool that's a one size fit all scenario. So like virtual tabletops are great for facilitating your game, but more often than not they leave it lacking when it comes to maps, right? So we are the tool that we recommend to build maps with. Dungeon Alchemist is beautiful. As you can see, you can incorporate the maps in several different ways. Top down, you can stream these views, you can take screenshots or recordings. One of my favorite things I've seen a DM do is they'll fly over a map like this and they record it and then they send it to a player who has a familiar that they often fly over maps to get like intel or see what it looks like or get a bird's eye view. So stuff like this is a great way to better immerse your players in above and beyond ways. Beautiful detailed maps that allow them to, kind of better cater to the narrative and explore and kind of build their own adventure on the way because it's so detailed and allows them to. Allowing them to see the maps through their own eyes, allowing them to experience it at a lot of different angles is really great for storytelling. But Dungeon Alchemist isn't a one-size-fits-all tool. You still need like a virtual tabletop or print the maps or a TV tabletop, maybe some sound effects, maybe some snacks helps too. You know what I mean? I do think really at the end of the day, it's a good idea as a DM to have several tools in your tool belt to work together in tandem. Well, I appreciate the suggestion, Anime Man, though I don't know if there's any plans on the roadmap for that at the moment. We do offer plenty of integration with Foundry as is. Our next update will support multi-level, which will offer a whole bunch of new integration, meaning you'll be able to, have multiple scenes of multiple levels and, using modules and things on Foundry like monks or levels, you can transition between them really, really easily, more than likely. We'll have roofing as well in the next update. A lot of changes are coming to Dungeon Alchemist very soon. Let's move on to the next map. I will say this, Orlando, homebrew is really challenging even for advanced DMs. There's often a reason they tell you to not do homebrew from the start because it can be quite challenging to balance things and get them right. What I would recommend is take existing stat blocks and reskin them to your needs. If you have a new race you're making, if it's similar to something already in D&D or Pathfinder, use the stat block from that and make slight alterations. They use them for a reason. They're pretty balanced. You know what I mean? Though, I will say this. Homebrew is very fun, and it does take a lot of forethought to just properly balance new classes and races. So, I was trying to do this because I was making a kind of new area in the Feywild. I made a new race of dwarves that are dwarves from the Feywild. You know how there's, Dwergar, and then there's traditional dwarves. And I thought it'd be interesting, kind of how there's Eladrin and stuff like that, if there were dwarves from the Feywild. So I made a new kind of race of dwarves, and then I also made another race of kind of creatures to be in this region called antlins, which were ants, humanoid ants. And there were several variations of them. One could fly, one could dig, one was like a carpenter ant. And they all were kind of interesting in their own regard. Orlando, thank you for the follow, by the way. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Oh my goodness, we got so many likes right now. Over 1.1k likes on TikTok. Thank you, TikTok. So this map was submitted by Highland Lass, who dropped in right as we started and said she had to take off because she's running D&D today. Hopefully she's dropping in soon for her lunch break or something, a quick break. I tried to make this one in the middle somewhere so she might see it, but if not, no big deal. Highland Lass always brings very interesting, fun maps, typically based on historical locations, but it looks like this one is just more of a fun, interesting location. So it's called Misty Isle Legend. And as you can see here, there's a very large foot, so maybe at some point a giant died here. or lost its foot here, to say the least. Which, you know, it's a little map, but it seems to pack a punch. We got a lot of detail, some sunken ruins, some fog, a little encampment here where maybe the explorers have set up. What does it say there? Got a note. Didn't notice this on my first pass. Herr Grunwald, I have located the lost leg of Misty Isle. The journey to the island on Loch Oran was long and troublesome. However, I've made landing just before the sunset had chance to see the artifact you want prior to making camp. How on earth did you think I was going to get it home on my small boat? Hopefully, the gold skull I found will be of suitable recompense. If you want the other, you will need to send a bigger boat. In fact, an archaeological team might be prudent too. I've only got a chance to explore for 2 days as a snapping plant bit me. You never warned me about the Feyland leaking into this island. I managed to set up camp away from the overspill. Regards, Samuel Entwistle. Interesting, I like that. You know, character progression's really a case-by-case thing. Some players aren't really interested in any progression short of making themselves stronger, leveling up, right? Which I prefer. XP is nice, but I don't like the micromanaging of it. Milestone's really simple because it allows you to just level your players at the same intervals, you know, because of things that they're accomplishing as a group. Now, individual growth, character growth, you know, if you have a player that's really invested in their backstory or really interested in the plot or, you know, is also, you know, kind of helping the story along in their own ways, it's a good idea to encourage that by, you know, let's say they have an interesting backstory where they talk about their family or a tragic backstory where they lost their family. Maybe they want to seek out revenge or find out who did it. Maybe, you know, taking into account what your players do as a backstory is really important, especially as a new DM. And, you know, it's good to find balance. I think a lot of DMs really feel very different about this. It's kind of two camps. Give me the biggest, coolest backstory you can, as long as you don't sound like a level 20 character already. And then the other ones are, please keep it like 2 paragraphs. I don't want to read all day. So I've heard it from both ways. There's DMs out there that absolutely love when you're engaged with their game and have a backstory to match so they can start incorporating that backstory into their game with plot hooks and people you might meet along the way who know your character to help develop their personal growth. I personally love backstories. As long as you're not writing me, you know, a 100-page novel, I'm cool with like 3 to 10 pages because here's the thing. If a character's 20 to 30 years old, they definitely have 3 to 10 pages of plot in their life, okay? Even if they were just a farmer most of their life before they set out. Hey, Cowser, how you doing? I'm good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is a cool map. That's only like a corner of it. Thank you for the like. Much appreciated. It is an island. It's fantastic. So there is a large giant foot on here, which was a legendary artifact that the person who set up this camp was tasked with finding, it looks like. I mean, if there's a generator for backstory, use it if your players aren't interested in making their own or comfortable with it. Like, there is a lot of, you know, I personally love writing a backstory, but I do kind of forget often that I'm making a level 1 character sometimes. You got to remember that if you're right for the level you are as a backstory, right, as a player, because you make it difficult for your DM if you sound like this most epic person that's experienced everything before you're level 1, right? So backstories need to be reasonable, but also at the same time, I personally enjoy a backstory that, you know, several pages. If the player's like, hey, you know, I ran away from home because I was being forced into a lifestyle I didn't want because I was going to be in the royal family and I didn't want to marry someone that I was forced to and blah, blah, blah. Maybe they ran away to join the circus, whatever. You could incorporate that. Maybe someone's hunting them. Bounty hunters are looking for them. People might recognize them. Maybe one of their family members may come and try and encourage them to come home. These are things you can weave into the backstory of your games if you're, or into the story of your world, if your players give it to you. If they don't, kind of you have to make all the world your own. I wish Highland Lass was here. This particular map was likely mostly hand-placed. Most of the maps in our contest, the Dam Challenge that we're showcasing, are almost explicitly built entirely out by hand, except for maybe the environment itself. But Dungeon Alchemist, just so you know, Ava, the AI in Dungeon Alchemist is not generative AI. It's actually proc gen, procedural gen, so last gen AI. I would like also to point out that it's very ethically sourced and created, developed entirely in-house with no outside sources for training. So no maps from our community, no assets from our community, nothing from the internet, etc. was used to train it. And additionally, all the assets that are used in our ProcGen AI are from our own team. So our artists make all the assets that are used in our generation. So we feel from an ethical standpoint, it's actually one of the most ethical AIs on the market. And using AI to generate maps, especially maps quickly to save time on your session prep, so you have more time to play with your players, and then put time into maybe plot and other things. It's a worthwhile use of AI. We're personally for AI making our lives easier, not stealing our livelihood. But the best thing about Dungeon Alchemist is it has the best of both worlds. You can make maps entirely by hand, or you can spin them up using our proprietary procedural AI. So you can make entire environments with a couple of clicks, change a few settings, generate a map. You can add rooms to the map, and then those fill in using our ProcGen as well. But like you see here, all of this was delicately placed by hand. The shaping of the island. I'm assuming they just generated, a generic forest map with some trees, kind of trimmed down the island themselves by hand. Made the verticality and terrain difference, topography by hand using our shaping tools. So we offer, tools that you can do everything by hand, or if you're, in a hurry for your game prep, you can just generate a map and call it a day. Say you have 5 minutes for session prep one week and 5 hours the next. It's the best of both worlds. Let's take a look at the top down on this. Yeah, let me show you how you can do a proc gen with trees. So I'm going to generate a new map really quick, and we'll do a forest map, which is similar to this. So it's going to be 40 by 40. I'm setting the terrain as forest. We have tons of different biomes, but forest is one of the more kind of generic. You have all these different elevation types. You can do mountains, hills, flat, ravine, whatever. Let's do a flooded ravine. You have different tree types. No vegetation, broadleaf forest, broadleaf, or evergreen forest, broadleaf clearing, evergreen clearing. I'm going to go evergreen forest. This one's broadleaf forest. We'll do river, no weather, and we'll just leave it as is. Multi-story building with the generation tool will be added in our next update, but you can build multi-level by hand right now. So if you look at this map here, Ava, that I just generated, I just clicked a few settings, clicked generate, and it made this map. And that's the ProcGen at work. Very simple generation for environments, especially. If I don't like this, maybe I want an island instead. Let's do this. Generate another map. Only takes a few seconds, right? Doesn't take long at all. So as you could see, added all these trees in and rocks and stuff with the generation. But they had fey trees mixed in. So we don't have biome mixing in our generation yet. So they had to add in the fey trees. So they likely went into the object menu went into this, paint objects here. You can erase some objects using the object eraser. Let's add some Feywild in here. Then we're going to go to nature. I'm going to find me some Fey trees and foliage. Kind of paint them into this environment. Takes a couple of seconds if you use the painting tools, or you could quite specifically go into the object menu, go to nature, find this very specific tree and place it by hand or bush. Resize them, rotate them. If you disable collisions, objects can be raised up and down. They can be merged closer together to make new and unique objects. Tell your DM friends about it for sure. Honestly, we're an indie company, so word of mouth is our primary form of advertising. So when you all tell your friends and family and DMs and other, whatever about it, it means the world to us. By the way, the trees are animated themselves, and you can export animated maps depending on your platform. So you could have animated fire, water, trees, all sorts of stuff. The island preset's been available for a while. Honestly, though, it's really not too extreme to build islands. Most of the biomes will offer an island option if you look through not elevation, but water. Right? So we changed from forest here. Let's go to Bay Plain. Also has island. You go to jungle. Also has island. My favorite to make a deserted island is to go to grasslands, set it to island, right? I just disable the vegetation. Reason I use grasslands is because grasslands has access to the sand paint. I don't know why the jungle biome doesn't have the paint for sand, but the grasslands does. But you can come over here, grab some sand, make yourself like a little beach and have a deserted island. The whole thing could be sand or just the inner core could be greens, whatever you want. Doesn't take long to really override a simple map like this. And then you could put some, jungle foliage on it to give it that deserted island feel. Maybe even a little, like a oasis in the center here. Something like that. You can add a few more plants if you want to, too. Maybe even mixed up the terrain once in a while. Just a quick little, island in the middle of the ocean. If you want to make it feel really deep, right? You can lower the terrain with the terrain tools out here to kind of sink it down. Kind of as low as it is already on this edge. But it helps around this outside edge. And then I do this, mix it with one other tool to really make it feel like it's in the middle of nowhere. You drop in what we call abstract objects. They're customizable objects, kind of green screen blank slates. Disable those collisions. Let's raise it up a little bit. We're going to insert just a solid black image into this. Then I'm going to drape it across the island here. Dungeon Alchemist is available on Steam. It runs on PC, on Windows, Mac, and Linux currently. And this is actually the current version that I'm sharing. So what you see here is what you get on Dungeon Alchemist. We're gonna get back to showing off the maps in the contest though, because we have at least 2 left and 30 minutes. Clown, right? It is a good one. It's actually a really nice trick. You can use it to put like starry backgrounds, depth, all sorts of stuff. The actual version we're in right now is, I think here, let's go look at about 1.6.47. Yeah, this map quite detailed and quite beautiful. Today you actually tuned in for a great stream because during the stream we'll be showcasing all the entries from a map making contest called the Dam Challenge. So our community is challenged with a theme. The theme for this contest was legend. So using legend as inspiration, everyone was using that as, kind of their mindset, made maps to match, right? And submitted them to our Discord. We have a Damn Challenge channel where entries can be submitted. And there were 6 entries in this challenge, and every one of them was amazing. They were all so fantastic. But we actually just picked our new challenge, which is underground. So the next theme is underground. Use that as inspiration. Make a map of any shape or size. Submit it to the Damn Challenge channel in our Discord. Make sure you follow the rules pinned at the top. As long as you follow the rules, your map qualifies, and you have a chance to win a $10 Hero Forge gift card, and obviously have your map featured on the stream. It's quite fun. Ava, thank you for the follow. So we host this contest as an ongoing map making contest every 2 weeks. It's a fun little community initiative. Anyone can participate. And really, it's not a contest against everyone else. It's a contest against yourself. You challenge yourself to make a map you may not have normally make. Pretty fun. Man, TikTok, thank you so much for all the likes. Over 2,500 now. Much appreciated. Y'all are insane. This is so cool. I really like these, like, staged fights. This is awesome. This is, like, diorama level awesome. This is so cool. Way cooler than... Oh my gosh, this is, like, the most awesome library. Yep. As you can see here, they took an object and inserted an image into it to make a panoramic backdrop. So that's, you know, those abstract objects we were looking at in the last map. Even more advanced version like this is made into a backdrop wall, and then they put images into it. I'm assuming right here they don't... Yep, you can see where they don't stitch right. That's why they put that there. That blends in better. Oh, yeah, the souvenir store is great. I was going to look at it after we checked out all this part, though. Lalandra, you did a great job on this. I really like these, like, abstract customs here with the posters and stuff. Ava, so we offer integration with Hero Forge. So if you have a Hero Forge account, which it's free to set up an account, you can make tokens there, and then you can export them. They charge you to export tokens depending on the platform. You know, it varies if it's a physical model or a digital model or whatever. But we offer integration with Hero Forge as one option, right? So you can either buy models from them and they link to us, or you can make your own custom and integrate them. You can... Every update, we include a few tokens from our partner Bite the Bullet going... From our last update going forward, there'll be new update or new tokens included every update. This last one had like 20, so hoping anywhere between 10 and 20 the next update. There is a few already included, just basic tokens that you can kind of check out. And then additionally, yes, you can download tokens from the Steam Workshop integration or import tokens through our asset importer. So if you click download tokens, right? Oh, this shows ones that I've downloaded from the workshop, but if you click Steam Workshop, you can click Browse Assets. You can click on the Token tab over here and actually see NPCs, monsters, characters, etc. So you could sort them by type. There's close to like between 800 and 1,000 tokens on here currently from all sorts of different genres. And these can be downloaded and used in your maps. Or if you have the ability to sculpt 3D models, or if you purchase them from like a Patreon or a Kickstarter or whatever, Humble Bundle, maybe you've sourced them online, you can use our asset importer to import 3D models into Dungeon Alchemist. STL models, FBX or GLTF/GLB models. So animated, full color, or just simple like flat gray. So because the asset importer is available and we allow users in our community to share 3D models on the workshop, there's now over 9,000, almost 9,300 available and counting. Every day there's more and more uploaded. Many of them fit the fantasy aesthetic of offered by Dungeon Alchemist, but there's plenty that bridge outside of it. You can, search sci-fi, and there's hundreds of sci-fi assets and cyberpunk assets, Fallout assets, modern, etc. Things that would definitely breach the fantasy aesthetic. So people in our community have started making, maps in all sorts of aesthetics outside of fantasy, especially by hand. Ava, I hope that answers your question as to how to get models into Dungeon Alchemist. 1 second. Come on. I heard you crying at my door. Are you okay? How's the meh? How's my sweets, bearbs? Who's your good, bearbs? This is Monty or Montrazar. What I just call him, Mema. Most of the time. Like a Pokemon name. Get him just miring his dad. What you doing? You okay? Does he got start screaming? He is really pretty boy. Big too, check him out. Monstrous. Boy, for sure. Remember, everyone, if you are enjoying the stream today and you want to make sure you catch our content in the future, make sure you hit that follow or subscribe button, depending on your platform. Additionally, as a small favor to me and the Dungeon Alchemist team, if you could like, share, any of those type of things to help get the word out about the streams, whether, share a link on your social media or in a Discord, or share it on the social platform you're watching on at the moment, like it, etc. That means the world to me. Thank you so much. As we are an indie team, like I said, word of mouth really is how we get the word out. So when y'all say, hey, enjoyed the stream today, or hey, watching, checking out amazing Dungeon Alchemist maps, a lot of people, don't even realize that Dungeon Alchemist is a thing, so it really helps a lot. Thank you so much. Harvester Zero, for first off, well, welcome to the damn fam, as we like to say. Believe? Here, kitty. I got my... Anyway, so when you save a map in Dungeon Alchemist, it's saved as our proprietary map file format, .dam, which stands for Dungeon Alchemist Map. So we like to lean into that. We have damn challenge, damn stream, damn fam. So welcome to the community, first off. I appreciate you dropping by the stream. If you have any questions during the stream, think of them as AMA format, which means ask me anything. So if you have a question, need support or guidance, you can ask myself, and myself or the mods or anyone in the community will usually chime in and offer assistance, helping guide you, especially in these early weeks as a new map maker with our program. We want to make sure you get all the assistance you need and are making the maps, to your desired specifications. So welcome to the stream, welcome to the community, and we're currently showcasing maps from an ongoing map making contest we host called the Damn Challenge. The current theme was Legend, so using Legend, members of our community made maps and submitted them. So the current one here is Museum of Legend, made by Lalandra, and it shows some really cool exhibits showing different parties. I'm assuming parties from the past that you've played in, or different parties you know of. Very cool. Love it. 11.4K maps on the workshop, Geronimo. Holy cow, that's impressive. Yeah, a lot of people don't really know that when you own a copy of Dungeon Alchemist, you can actually share maps on the workshop, but you can also download them from the workshop right from within Dungeon Alchemist. So if you were to, say, click Steam Workshop and click Browse Maps, if you look in here, there's over 11,000 maps to look at. These are free to anyone who owns a copy of Dungeon Alchemist. So if you own this, this is a bonus to you. These have all been shared by our community members over the last couple of years. I think 2-3 years. Many of them are very beautiful. You can sort them by most popular. You can sort them by most recent. You can even search, which I love searching because let's say you're running a Tomb of Annihilation campaign. You can search TOA and find tons of TOA themed maps, or you can just type Tomb of Annihilation. You know what I mean? So you could find it and search just from that. It's quite easy to essentially search our workshop and find hundreds of maps to fit your needs right away, meaning you may not even have to make a map at all. You can just lean on our community and their amazing talent. Though I do love looking at maps on the workshop just for inspiration or to see what people are doing and learn new ideas to kind of backwards engineer them, reverse engineer them, and kind of learn how to build different ways, different styles. Getting close to 10K assets now, too. We also have Steam Workshop integration for assets. Over 9,000 assets shared by our community members, more each day. And many of them are in the fantasy aesthetic, but some often bridge into other themes, like we discussed earlier. So, Lalandra, is the story here, are these all different parties from your past? You just uploaded 50 more, all those shields? Thank you so much for sharing those. I'm sure that people will like them a lot. I really like that Hendrix over here in the pits of hell. Just doing his thing. Doing his Hendrick thing. Nope, just ideas you had? Well, it's clever. I like it. This right here is my favorite part of the map, right? This little room. I just noticed that these Hobbit doors have weird textures when they're round, though. I need to report that. So, oh. Guess what, guys? Another celebrity is visiting today. The Fae room is my favorite room. Oh, how's the puppy?
How's the puppy? Say hi.
Someone just got a bath. Someone just got a bath. And his name is Seymour. That's the Ruru. You're shivering, buddy, okay? Is it chilly?
Chilly, chilly.
He's cute. Hey, Donk Blankenstein, thank you for the follow. No household name like Roy Donk, but he was a regular on the Colgate Comedy Hour. Okay. Puppy burrito, pupperito, right? Who's a good boy? Where's the herbs? He is shivering so hard. Okay, go put him on the heat. I feel bad. Hold in here. Get him warm. See you later. Thank you for bringing it by. Can you close that door? All right. This one made me laugh. When I realized what it was, it made me laugh really hard, actually, Rev. So, there's a hero of Bright Ridge, but there's also a hero of Canton. So basically, this is loosely based off of an episode from the cult classic sci-fi TV series Firefly. Um, if you're not familiar with Firefly, I don't know what you've done with your life. You really should check it out. But it's one of the more iconic episodes, as it essentially these this crew of misfits. They're sort of like kind of the group on their ship. They're a little bit of a, they're wanted in places. They're a bit nefarious. They take odd end jobs that are less than savory, but their pasts are often fraught with various points of contention. One of them, Jane, one of the main crew members, who is like a mercenary and muscle for the crew, he used to be a slave on this planet, and he escaped, and the circumstances of his escape made him a town hero. So, yeah, the episode is called Jane's Town. It's from the TV show Firefly. The crew of the Serenity. There's also a movie called Serenity, which kind of was released later to help kind of wrap up the series. I must have missed Jane's hat quote. But basically, when he was escaping, he had like a ton of money in his he was escaping with a partner, and their speeder was too heavy, so he dumped some of the money and he dumped his partner. His partner got arrested. The whole city got the money because it fell everywhere. And so he was a hero, and they put a statue up of him, and they sing songs about him, and essentially he became like a Robin Hood-esque type character for this group of people when all he was trying to do was escape, and he was kind of being a bad friend and person at the process of it. Oh, gotcha. So essentially, Jane is an interesting and lovable character from the show, but it shows a bit of his history, and the whole town worships him, sort of like a deity to a degree. But it's quite an interesting arc in the entire show, but I love that you were able to capture that with this. You obviously have the ship very reminiscent of Firefly, though I don't see a mudder pit anywhere. But I do see some fields. I see the bar, the tavern, the city, village stuff. Yeah, really did fit with the legend theme very well, because the hero of Canton was quite literally that. He was a legend. Janestown. The hero of Canton, the man we call Jane. They had a song for him. Love it. What do we got here? So they're mining instead. Absolutely great. You really definitely tickled my my nostalgia and my love for sci-fi. You knew how to appeal to the judge. Dang mutters. Man, I need to rewatch that show. Every time I watch it, though, it just makes me sad because it's like had so much potential. Joss Whedon early in his career. Legendary Farms, funny. It's gonna be Legend Dairy. Wait for it. Wait for it. Gary. You mean the one where they find the ship adrift in space? Let's take a look at the overhead on this. Oh, gotcha. Ah, I get you when they're after the Lassiter, right? The laser pistol or whatever, right? Is that the one you're talking about? You know, what's her bucket there? She's actually had like a really big resurgence in her career rate lately. She was in like a whole bunch of stuff. She was in Mad Men and Bad Girls and like a few different movies and stuff, so good on her. What is her name? I can't remember it. How long did you work on this map, my friend? Three, 4 hours? Not bad. Especially now that you're doing commission work and, you know, Patreon and stuff. It's good that you don't invest too much time into the various dam challenges, but also it's a good idea to make one that maybe can still be, you know, included in those areas. No, it's not Gina Torres. It's hold on. Gina Torres has had a pretty consistent acting career. One second. Never mind. I guess it's a different show. Oh. Christina Hendricks is her name. Sorry. You better make time for the damn challenges. I just, you know, I don't want you to put too much into it if you're trying to also, you know, make a hustle on the side. But at the same time, make sure your maps from the damn challenge can be used in your on your Patreon, you know? That's why we often pick themes that are more open. That was actually feedback from like SAC years ago, I think, is be a good idea if the themes weren't so tightly focused, because more often than not they can't be used in campaigns, which means people can't, you know, use them outside of this challenge, which makes them frustrating. And I agree with that. Like, good idea to make a map that can be used in your own campaigns or whatever. Anyway. You have an underground map you've been working on? Nice. See, that should help. By the way, just speaking of underground, our next theme for the Dam Challenge is underground. So, if you want to participate in the next map making contest for a chance to win a $10 Hero Forge gift card, and a little bit of map making infamy. Because if you win, your map is featured in our Cartomancer Chronicles newsletter. It's the first map featured on the Damn Challenge stream, and like I said, you win that $10 Hero Forge gift card. Big money, big prizes. Anyway, laughing myself to the bank with that one. But aside from that, it's fun to challenge yourself and make something outside your comfort zone. It's a great way to learn how to use Dungeon Alchemist and take it to a new level. I encourage you all to participate. The next theme, Underground, should introduce some very interesting concepts and ideas. Very excited to see what comes out. You have between now and the end of day on the 2nd, right? Not the 25th. Be the 2nd. So May 2nd, 11:59:59 in your time zone. You have between now and then to submit an entry. Not bad. Really enjoyed this map. I especially like this area here, how you use like all the stuff that Asmodeus, the wharf, like district homes that Asmodeus has uploaded to the workshop. They look really good here. It's just kind of whatever could be found and made into structures. Thank you so much for everyone that participated in the Damn Challenge. Honestly, I really do appreciate each and every one of you who constantly, put yourself out there and, make an interesting, cool map to share with the community. Because at the end of the day, these maps, yeah, that's the point, that we're getting them on the workshop for more people to enjoy and benefit from them. But it's also fun to challenge yourself, put your map making to whole new levels. Try and make something outside of your normal, map making arena. It's always fun and challenging in that regard. So thank you for everyone that participated this time around. I really appreciate it. Our next stream will be on Monday. We'll be back Monday with another multi-stream. The theme of the next multi-stream is Map Maker Monday. So I'll be building a map live for y'all to watch and participate and learn from and make suggestions towards the build. The map that I'm making is the Ancient Cemetery, which is nearing completion, actually. It's very close now. Let's take a look at it before we wrap up. The wharf buildings are nice, man. You did a great job. Yeah, he made them so they kind of fit together really well. And I like how it's just like a maze of structures in there that look like it's kind of just haphazardly thrown together, but also some structure to it. Thank you for the homage to Firefly, Lord Rev. Really appreciated that. I saw it, the name of the map, and I knew exactly what it was. I just was like, okay, is there a statue somewhere? Yes, there is. Okay, this is exactly what I thought it was. So for this map is called the Ancient Cemetery. I've been building it about a half hour a week on stream every Monday. People can watch, participate, submit ideas towards the build, share suggestions and feedback. But it started in this corner, and it has just slowly evolved into a very massive build. It's 85 by 82 at the moment, and it may still get larger. You have the entry and roadway, some kind of generic graves, a cathedral with a beautiful wrapped garden that I put and built out by hand. 3-story bell tower, which, again, by hand, because multi-level isn't incorporated in Dungeon Alchemist currently. With the room generation tool that will be soon. More graves, more roads, but here we're working on this area, which will be kind of pauper graves and, more just generic graves. And then this area here will be fancier, kind of terraced little private plots with you know, like little family plots, mausoleums, stuff like that. So this will be kind of what we're working on over the next few weeks. But this Monday, if you want to tune in, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. UTC. I'll be working on this for roughly an hour, 2 hours, and providing real-time AMA support during the stream. So if you have any questions, suggestions, feedback, need guidance with your map making, you can ask, and I will do my best to help you out right away. Hey, Ava Lore, how you doing? Welcome back. How you doing today? This map is wonderful, though. I'm loving how it's coming along and can't wait to finish it, though. I am wonderful. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. Thank you, Atlam, for putting up the schedule wherever possible. I appreciate that as well. Fortunately, Avi, you dropped in right as we were about to wrap up, sadly. But you can enjoy this beautiful map before we do. And I'll be working on this Monday on the stream for anyone who wants to tune in and kind of see its progress. So we'll be working in these areas, this area over here. I was going to finish out the fence along this side, right? Once the fence was done, then I was going to start filling it in with graves. Probably some plant life trees and stuff here and there. I know, Ava, I'm sorry. We usually stream for 2 hours, and you just caught us right as we're wrapping up. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's taken shape, hasn't it? A lot of work has gone on to into this. Very excited to see you know, how it ends. Really appreciate everyone being here today. Thank you for all the support on all our platforms. Whether you were watching on, you know, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Steam. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Again, my name is Mac. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. Dungeon Alchemist is a map-making utility, or a map-making tool and immersion utility that is available on Steam. We offer a free demo that you can try before you buy, kind of test drive it on your computer, see how it runs on your system before you invest any time or money into it. Dungeon Alchemist is a one-time purchase for a lifetime license that gives you access to all of our, you know, development up to this point, but as well as future development, including a major update launching in the next couple of months titled Fun with Objects, hopefully launching before the end of June. Hey, thank you, Geronimo. Before we go, I'm going to show some teasers from our next update and run a short Dungeon Alchemist themed ad, and then we are going to wrap up for the day. If y'all got to take off, feel free to wrap up, or feel free to leave. But for anyone interested in seeing these teasers from our next update or checking out our special Dungeon Alchemist themed ad made by the team at One for All or Deerstalker Pictures, please stay tuned. Multi-level is going to be a big part of the next update, and I'm sure a lot of you are excited to see what that will entail if you haven't seen it already. Here is a video that shows multi-floor and switching between it. Oh, wrong screen. Let me start this over. Essentially, there's a new UI element in the top right corner below the camera stuff, and it allows you to switch between the floors by clicking the up or down arrows. Additionally, you can press plus or minus. Same thing, it's a hotkey. So if you already have a floor, you can transition between them with plus or minus. Or if you want to add a floor, you just hit plus or minus if you can go down. In this particular biome, you can't go underground. The green screen or the dark parchment biomes offer no underground building. But if you build in forest, cave, you know, desert, whatever, you can have below ground floors and above ground floors. It's going to be very cool. Yeah, Blue Mage, again, congratulations. Very well done. Thank you for everyone else that participated as well. Your work was phenomenal. Honestly, it was very hard for me to pick a winner. Here's a teaser from some more stuff. Same map, but actually different feature, called abstract lighting. In the next update, you'll be able to add light sources that you can enable or disable to hide from the map, and upon export or when you're in first person or cinematic cameras, those light sources are invisible, but the light they cast remains. So you can see dark, abstract lights, you can see the light they cast, then remove them so they're no longer visible, but the light is still present, allowing you to add more fun, immersive, bright lighting to areas. Maybe put a little special lighting to draw attention to an area, or thematic lighting. Roto Chopper, you actually tuned in right as we're wrapping up, but I do appreciate you being here. How you doing, my friend? So we showed a couple of teasers. Let's go ahead and wrap it up with a quick Dungeon Alchemist themed ad. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Yeah, I know. We've been live for about 2 hours now, Roto Chopper. I'm sorry. We typically start at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UTC, and run for 2 hours on Saturday. Same time every Saturday, though. Okay, I'm going to mute the music, and we're going to switch over to our ad. Remember, it's a Dungeon Alchemist themed ad, so you actually, see something that isn't, somebody else's stuff. Anyway, here we go.
You stand before the long, dark road to the fabled realm of Goyak Ta, and before
What do we see?
I don't know, a goblin.
I kill him.
But before she does, I, Gilliam of Firth, demand to know the goblin's name.
Hi, my name is Woblin.
Where do you live there, Woblin?
I don't think that's relevant.
Well, but I, Gilliam of Firth, demand to seek the goblin's abode.
Clever. Find family. Kill entire bloodline. I like it.
Seriously, we're doing this? Okay, well, won't be needing that anymore, will I?
Ever get caught by your players with your pants down? Dungeon Alchemist lets you create wonderful maps for any encounter in seconds.
Oh, Woblin, that's a very impressive cheese collection you've got there.
Yeah, it is quite impressive, yes. But you know what's more impressive? This map I have to the fabled realm of Goyak Ta. Please take it and leave. Close the door behind you.
Mr. Woblin, I cannot help but notice that you have a secret tunnel underneath your cabinet. Care to explain?
Download Dungeon Alchemist, the AI-powered map maker, on Steam today.
All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you so very, very much. Hope you have an amazing weekend. We'll be back on Monday. But until next time, this is Mac, your community manager. We'll see you next time. We'll see you next time I give a damn. Mac out. Bye.